Today I'm going to show you how to make spiedini di pesce, or fish kebabs, in our electric stackable oven. Hi everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to make spiedini di pesce, or seafood kebabs, or fish kebabs, or fisherman kebabs. So my dad's a fisherman and this is an ode to him. But you'll love this recipe because it's delicious as it is nutritious. And we're going to use this in the electric stackable oven today. We're going to heat the top portion, and that way it's going to kind of mimic like a broiler or a salamander or a grill, except it's going to give us a lot more even heat, and it's going to cook these in no time. We can use a skewer if we want to do it this way. Now, in the olden days, they used to do it with a rosemary leaf. So you would actually take the rosemary when it was whole, like this, and peel the bottom off like this, use the sprigs in the dressing, and then actually skewer the fish right onto this. But nowadays, the rosemary, especially the ones I find here in the store, it doesn't always work. So when you can't get really sturdy rosemary leaves, you can use the skewer, no problem. So you can use any type of fish that you like with this recipe as long as it's a nice, firm flesh fish. So I've got tuna over here, I've got cod, and cod would be honestly just enough, but because I have a little bit of tuna, I'm gonna use that. You could use swordfish, you could use mahi-mahi, you could use shrimp in this recipe, and if you don't want seafood, you could do chicken or beef, really whatever you like for these skewers. But the magical combination here is that this recipe really is culinary medicine because you've got all of the healthy fats of the fish. You know, there's a fact that if you consume one additional serving of fish per week, it will reduce your risk of heart disease by over 40%. So if you're eating fish once a week, add an additional serving per week and you get those benefits. But this recipe gives us even more ancient Mediterranean health benefits because we've got garlic in the recipe, which is a natural antibiotic. We've got lemon juice, we've got extra virgin olive oil, and all of those ingredients combine to really make this one of the most nutritious recipes out there. And rosemary has been shown to help improve our memory and our concentration. So when we add it to fish, which is already a great brain food, put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and rosemary, it's really gonna help. If you're studying for a test, if you wanna improve your concentration, eat this recipe. So let's start by skewering. I'm gonna show you just for fun, this historical way. We've got the one piece of fish on, and I'm gonna alternate with a cherry tomato and do another piece of fish. This is so cute if you're entertaining or you just wanna have this like fun appetizer, you know, it's adorable to do it like this. Make sure that your fish are even size, and that way in the oven, they're gonna cook evenly. Or you can do it with the skewer. This way you get a little bit more, of course, and people also really like to eat the food like this. I find that this is a great way even to get kids to eat fish. So here's one finished. Again, this is a great way to get kids to eat fish because they like anything that they can pick up and hold, and the fish kind of gets coated with the tomato flavor and also the herb sauce that we're gonna make for the top. So for finicky eaters, this is the seafood recipe that you wanna have. And you can alternate, starting with the tomatoes, of course, starting with the fish. You could put other vegetables on here if you like. But this is just really fun. You know, in the summertime and you want a quick recipe, you can make these in advance and then just fire up the oven and get them in there in just a few minutes time. You can also use the leftovers, because if you've got leftover fish from these skewers that you've roasted in the oven or boiled or grilled, it tastes really great. You know, put into a taco, tossed into a salad, put onto a flatbread, or really stir it into pasta, anything that you like. Now, I'm gonna try to do one with the tuna. And as you see here, the tuna, we've got the pieces a little bit bigger, and that's because a lot of people like to eat the tuna more raw. So instead of making it bite-sized pieces that are gonna cook all the way through, we'll use the bigger ones. So as far as proteins go, seafood is one of the best options you can have because it's so lean, but also so full of protein and those healthy omega-3s, things that are good for our heart and our mind. You really only need about 3 to 4 ounces of a good quality fish for your protein, so a little bit goes a long way. So now we're gonna make our traditional rosemary sauce, and I love this. You know, the last time I was in Italy, I went to visit a lady, and the entire side of her home was covered in rosemary. It looked like ivy, but it was just these huge rosemary plants. And I love the way it wafts in the air. It goes so well with seafood. So I'm gonna start by adding in lemon juice, and I'm gonna use the juice of 2 lemons. And again, because we're using the Ninja, if you use a Vitamix or any strong blender, you could actually even throw in the entire lemon and it wouldn't hurt anything. But I'm just gonna focus on the juice today. Lemon juice is great with fish. Even if it's not part of the recipe, it's wonderful to finish off a little bit on top. Now I'm going to add my extra virgin olive oil. You're really gonna wanna use the best quality that you can in this recipe because you're gonna taste it and it's gonna amp up the nutrient potent in the fish. Whenever you put extra virgin olive oil onto a vegetable, seafood, anything that you're cooking, not only do you get the health benefit and the anti-inflammatory properties of the olive oil and of the ingredient you're cooking, but the olive oil actually coaxes out more nutrients from the ingredients. So it's great to use a good amount. 2 tablespoons a day is really gonna help you to feel better and to get all of those anti-inflammatory properties. Now I'm gonna add in my chopped rosemary and my garlic, another great anti-inflammatory ingredient, a lot of good flavor for us. Some freshly ground pepper and some sea salt. We'll give that fish back a little bit of the original flavor that it had when it was still in the sea. Now I'm gonna cover this and we'll blend. So now that our sauce is nice and blended, I'm just gonna take it out of the blender. And if you wanna skip that step and just have the ingredients in a little bit more rustic, that's fine too. It's still gonna taste great. But I like to do the extra step of blending them because just the aroma of the citrus and the herbs is so wonderful. It also gets nice and thick and emulsified with the extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to use about half of this to brush on our kebabs, and the other half we're going to reserve for when they come out of the oven. So just stir it up with your brush and then start doing this. It's really nice. We call this a pannello in Italian, which means a brush, and turn it over. If you want to marinate, you could do this 20 minutes in advance, 30 minutes in advance. It'll get even more flavor, but honestly, you don't need it. This is tender fish, and this is a really quick and easy way to make them. If you're doing chicken or beef though, I would definitely recommend marinating because that meat is a little bit more resistant than the fish, and so the marinade will help it. I'm gonna turn this over. So this in Italy would be a second course, you know, and it's a great way to, if you're gonna have like a lemon pasta or a risotto, that would be really nice. And then you could have these as a second course, or you could have them as an appetizer or a light dinner with salads and maybe some greens on the side. So now that we're done adding all of this healthful, delicious flavor to the kebabs, I'm gonna add a little bit of Calabrian chili pepper to the top. This is a wonderful ingredient. You could add it right into the dressing. If you don't like heat, you could leave it out, but I love the heat that this adds and the dimension to this recipe. Now they're ready for the oven. So now our spiedini di pesce are ready, and I love making them in the stackable oven because I can set the top to one temperature and the bottom to another and make sure that they get cooked on both sides, and that way we don't have to flip them during cooking. It just makes skewers and kebabs so much easier. So I think I'm gonna serve these right on this paddle. I think that would be fun. We'll do the tuna together, and you notice how they're done at the same time. So as you're plating these, make sure to come back and baste them again with this wonderful sauce, because once the fish mixes with the lemon juice and the herbs, it really takes on a very concentrated flavor. So you get all of those health benefits and all of this delicious flavor. Just drizzle it right on top of the fish and serve them immediately. If you have these at a party, they're gonna go really fast because they're super easy to eat, delicious, nutritious. Enjoy.